Hello, friends. I'm your host, Dave Layton, and thank you for joining me in our journey to hope. It is my desire through this podcast to bring you information about how to discover, sustain, or perhaps regain hope.
Today, I'm joined by a very special guest and fellow cancer survivor, Yvonne Mitchell. Yvonne has started a wonderful ministry to help those that are fighting cancer, and we're going to be talking about that as we go through this. I want to know a lot of information about it, and I know you do too. So we're going to be talking about this wonderful ministry. Well, hello, Yvonne.
Hi, Dave.
I had to wrap my tongue around that name. Not used to saying names that start with an I and a V.
Right.
Excuse me. See, I can't even say it. A Y and a V.
Mm-hmm.
Yvonne. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for what you're doing to the cancer survival community, those that are fighting it.
Yes.
Well, I've already said that you and I do share being cancer survivors.
Yeah.
Mine was very aggressive, a deadly strain of leukemia. And like you and so many of us that go through it, it is a life-changing period.
Absolutely.
You know, not just for me, but for my family too.
Yes.
And so many times we might, and rightfully so, we're focusing on the cancer victim, the cancer survivor, but I am so thankful for the families and friends that are part of the support group.
Absolutely. Support is
I volunteer at the local Montgomery Cancer Center here in Prattville, and the cancer patients support person will come in with them, and I treat them extremely well.
Yes.
I'm so pleased with them.
Yes.
All right, well, I've been talking too much already, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Are you a native Alabamian?
Yes, I am. Born and raised in Alabama, right in up the road, Verbena, Alabama. But my husband's from Maplesville, so that's where I am.
Of course.
But in 2017 was when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. A life-changing experience.
6 years survival.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes. God is so good. And that was how God really birthed this ministry. In me, the prayer pillar ministry. So many things transpired in those few little years, but God is just amazing.
I've told people, I mentioned it in a recent podcast, that I learned to go from the intellectual to the spiritual during the treatment phase, all of that I learned true prayer is.
Yes.
And how people would send me cards and emails and text messages and would always say, we're praying for you. And I mentioned to my wife one day, I said, it's a physical thing. I truly could. I read this wonderful card from somebody, and I said, "Man, I can feel that."
Right.
And it really, really did help in so many ways. Well, enough about that. I still get emotional about it.
Well, very much so. Yeah. Very much so. For me, I've always known that, I've always had this strong faith in God, and I knew that I was saved. But breast cancer just kind of God has a way of pushing you into your purpose, and I turned we always say about the word, it says that what the devil meant for evil, the Lord turns it around for good. So
I say that again. What the
devil meant for evil,
the devil meant for evil,
God always has a way to turn it around for our good.
God has a way of turning it around for our good.
So breast cancer is, cancer, any type cancer. Well, we view that's just bad, But
it truly is.
Yes, it is. But God, I feel like God just pushed me into my purpose, because had He not, I was just satisfied. I'm an intercessor. I've always been an intercessor. I've always known that I, prayed for people, and I was comfortable doing that. But God wanted to push me to the next level. And the only way He could do that was to knock me down, a little lower on my knees, and it allowed me to really see who I was, because we always say we have faith, but you can have all the faith you want, but faith is not really faith until you have to really step out on faith, right?
Okay.
We
all want to like to think that, well, yeah, my faith is strong.
Yeah.
We're tested.
Yes. Because that's easy to say.
Yeah. But James, and James, as he starts out his letter, he says, count it all joy.
That's right. That's right.
When you face these trials.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was a little hard to do. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I went into it when my doctor says, okay, this is what your situation is, and we're going to be putting you in the hospital. And we went home, got my bag packed to go to the hospital, had a few minutes by myself, and got on my knees. I really did get on my knees.
Yes.
And anyway, the prayer was, Lord, you've got this.
That's right.
I don't know what's going to happen, but you've got this one way or the other.
Yeah.
Either I'm going to survive this or I'm not, but if I don't, I'm still his child.
That's it.
And so, and it turns out I had both.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
Yes.
All right. And so let me ask you, was there other family members that had cancer? Or, I mean, is this something that was unique with you and your family?
It was completely knocked me off my feet because no one, in my immediate family or even closely related to me had breast cancer. And, that was just one of those things. And I was, that was very surprising to me. But like I said, I just feel like it was a reason. God, there's a reason, and God pushes us to our purpose, and sometimes it was sort of like the baby eagles, how the mom has to push them out of yes, because like I said, I was just so comfortable being an intercessor. I could pray at home in the privacy of my home, for other people, and I didn't really have to communicate, But, I was always kind of like in my shell, in my shyness. But God wanted me to expand, enlarge my territory so I could bless others. And that's what he has done through this breast cancer, because even going through my treatments and, radiation and surgeries and all that, still had to be an intercessor, right? People were still coming to me, requesting prayer, and I was like, now God, how am I supposed to encourage these people? And I need encouraging myself, and God just started showing me, that he needed me to do this, because I made a vow to the Lord, right? I made a vow that, I would do what he would have me to do. I would serve him and I would help others. But when you make a vow to the Lord, you better make sure that that you're going to do what God has called you to do, because he's going to check you on it. So, that's right. And God revealed all that to me as I was going through, and I realized, you got to do this. And then people, were coming to me, and it was, they didn't even realize, I'm really, they knew I was going through this cancer, but they didn't realize that I needed encouraging as well. But after I prayed with them, and they would come to me for encouragement, but they were encouraging me. So that was a really big part of my healing. God was, working that thing out for his good,
I asked about history of cancer simply because, like you, it hit me fast and hard, and it was a complete surprise. The only thing I knew is, okay, that symptom is not normal.
Right.
Something's wrong. Well, my daughter went through lymphoma about, I think, 5, maybe 6 years ago. I think 5 years ago. So that'd been the only cancer in our family, and it go from daughter to father. It was
Right.
passed on genetically. And so both of us
Mm-hmm.
were very surprised. Where did this come from?
Yes.
God does not cause evil to come in our life, but he does allow it.
Yes.
And so many people, when they get hit hard and down,
Mm-hmm.
they want to blame God for that.
Mm-hmm.
And in my conversation with my daughter and in my prayers and in my own realization was, God didn't cause me to have cancer.
Right.
Satan brought evil into the world, not
Yes.
our Lord. But our Lord helps us fight against it.
Mm-hmm.
And prayer is such an incredible part of
Yes.
that. And knowing that other people are praying for us as well.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to use that to transition into your ministry because
Yes.
the prayer pillow ministry is a wonderful thing.
Yes.
I remember when I had my port put in,
Mm-hmm.
and I went home, and the seatbelt would hit against where the
I remember
precision and
that.
all was. And it was like,
Yes.
I need a pillow or something. And the next time I came in for treatment, the nurse said, we've got exactly what you need for a pillow that fit on my seatbelt and
Uh-huh.
kept it off of.
Yes.
And that was wonderful. And so over in our area, reception area,
Mm-hmm.
patients come in. We have all kinds of pillows and blankets and a little cushion thing for the ports and little hats for people. Just
Mm-hmm.
wonderful things that folks have donated.
Yes.
It's not just, okay, I've got this great little thing here that'll help me, but it's knowing somebody cares about that.
Yes.
Especially somebody who's been through this.
Yes.
And so it's a wonderful thing. Well, I want to know about the prayer pillow. It's just, what a great idea. And again, you're saying you came across this idea having been through
Yes.
treatment and all, and you knew this was a way
Mm-hmm.
to help others. Yeah, we pay back, but it's more than that. It's
Yes.
the idea of helping others. So
It
I want you
is.
to tell me about the prayer pillow ministry.
It is. And it's absolutely a vision from God because I was asleep. I mean, just having a good night's rest, and God woke me up out of my sleep with a vision about these prayer pillows. And he just started, and he immediately took me to the book of Habakkuk about, how the prophet Habakkuk was so, he wasn't questioning God, but he was, just asking. His heart was so heavy,
The first part of Habakkuk, he's and he's listening.
Yes, his heart was so heavy. Yes.
I'm paraphrasing, but God said, "You wouldn't believe it if I showed it to you."
Exactly. I love it. And he took me straight to Habakkuk, and there was so much going on at that time, and just like today, and at that time and still today, there's so much going on, so much killing, so much hatred, just so much evil that we have to put up with, along with trying to survive, and God just showed me that, and I was like, wow, and when he was telling Habakkuk about just write the vision, make it plain, more or less, you put it up here and I'll take care of it, and he started giving me this vision about the pillows, and I was like, wow. And God, and he said he will use the foolish things to confound the wise, because I'm like, really, God, a pillow, but it's just a pillow, but a pillow provides so much comfort. And then one of his orders, he was just speaking into my spirit, is to anoint my hands and to pray over every pillow. Not one pillow goes out of our building without being prayed over, because that, we don't know where it's going to, but God knows. And we just ask God to saturate and bless whoever it touches, whether it's a child, an adult, a senior, a veteran, a homeless person, somebody on the street that we see at Walmart. It doesn't matter. God knows where each pillow is going to end up. So, I just started giving these away at the cancer centers, and it just grew. Volunteers started coming to help me. We started at my dining room table, But now, I mean, God just opened doors. If you just be obedient and do what God says do, He'll just open the floodgates.
Well, I tell you, on your little flyer that you have with the pillow, you say reaching individuals and families impacting the world. I love that because it's not, well, we got this little ministry in Central Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Your vision is
Yes.
going out into the world, and that's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Who can we help? How can we help? And making a pillow may seem like a small thing, but I'm telling you, emotionally, it's not a small thing.
Right.
It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
One of my joys at the Cancer Center when I'm helping as a volunteer is getting a pillow for somebody, getting that all comfortable, getting a warm blanket to put on them. I tell them my job is to make this a good day.
Yes.
In fact, I tell them my job is to make this a moon pie Monday.
That's right. That's it.
And so anyway, we enjoy that. All right. Well, so you've told me about how many folks are involved with you on this?
Currently, we have 6 ladies in-house. Six that come to the actual building, the Prayer Pillow Ministry in Maplesville.
Moved out of your kitchen table.
Yes, yes, and there's 6 of us. And then we have a couple ladies that work. One in Montgomery and one in Prattville that works at home sewing pillows.
Okay.
So and once they sew the pillows, they bring them to us and we stuff them and pray over. But
town of Maplesville, Alabama. Somebody would have to look that up on the map.
Really hard. Yes.
You see that sign on the wall right there? Little is much when God is in it.
That's it. Yes.
That's my motto. It seems like a little thing when God is in it.
That's right.
Can you tie the hands of God?
I know.
You just no. Okay. You distribute the pillows. Once these ladies get together and y'all make them and they're all ready to go and you've prayed over them and you said, now.
Yes. Yes. Now we have, like I said, it's definitely been a faith walk. It started by word of mouth and, Facebook and it's just grown. And we've been able to partner with other organizations that know people that need these pillows, and that's important. Being able to because financially, we can't reach people in the Ukraine. But our pillows, we partnered with someone and our pillows were able to go and comfort those children at the Ukrainian border, so God will do it. You just have to. Let me tell you a story about this Ukraine.
Okay.
There was a lady, because we get a lot of donations. A lady donated her grandmother's fabric to us for pillows. When we received the story about our pillows going to the Ukraine, she saw her grandmother's fabric, on one of those pillows being handed to one of those children.
Wow.
And that just, who cannot get joy from that? Your grandma has been passed on for years and she's still, so, it's just a blessing.
Thank you for sharing that because, we just don't realize sometimes the impact we're having.
I know.
Possible.
I know. So amazing.
Now, our pillows, all you make?
We make pillows and we do lap blankets, some smaller blankets, because a lot of our, we serve a lot of younger cancer children.
Okay.
And we always like to match them up, a pillow and a blanket, so because children,
comfort.
Yes. So we do blankets as well.
Well, I appreciate you working with children. Our cancer center only treats adults.
Yes.
I come home sometimes just emotionally exhausted from the adults.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot imagine working with the children. And yet that is so vitally important. So thank you for working with that.
Yes. This actually opened my eyes because I knew it, but I didn't realize so many children, were impacted by cancer and all. It just blew my mind.
Yeah. In the book of Exodus, as in Genesis, of course, as Moses is being commissioned by God to go into Israel and bring out the slaves there, the Israelites from Egyptian slavery.
Mm-hmm.
And Moses didn't want to do it.
That's right.
He resisted. He kept coming up with excuses. In fact, the Lord got just a little bit miffed at him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I'd ever want to be miffed, or the Lord miffed at me. There's a couple of things there that I always enjoy reading about. I don't like snakes.
Uh-huh.
I do not like snakes.
No.
We talk about test of faith. If the Lord had told me to throw down my stick and then reach down and pick up that snake, I'd have to think about that.
Mm-hmm.
But that staff that Moses had, finally the Lord says, well, what's in your hand?
Mm-hmm.
And Moses said, I could just see him holding up, well, I got this old stick, this staff. And so again, that became a powerful implement for Moses to use.
Yes.
And so a lot of people think, well, it's just, what can I do? I don't have that much that I can do. And surprisingly, when you turn it over to God, it becomes powerful.
That's right.
And that's just something that I've experienced as well as I'm just Dave.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I am. I'm Dave. What can I do? And I can do something. I can give my time and volunteer. I can be creative. If there's some skill you have or time that you like to give to help out, there's just so many ways.
Right.
And you discovered, you obviously knew how or had to learn how to sew, and you have obviously too good organizational skills, or at least you learned to organize them. Because the manufacturing, the getting the supplies, the material, and then putting it all together, and then transporting them out.
Yes.
And that's quite an operation.
It is.
I'm very impressed. We go to management school and we learn how to do all that stuff, and you just got that natural talent, and so you're using it to glorify the Lord.
That's right.
And it will be successful. It is successful when
Yes.
we glorify the Lord. All right. And so there are so many ways that we can help others, especially that are being challenged. As I was finishing my cancer treatment, I talked with Barbara Bartley, the administrator at the Prattville Cancer Center, and I said, Miss Barbara, I'd be interested in being a volunteer because I was so impressed with the volunteers helping us.
Yes.
And she kind of looked at me with a smile and she said, we want to talk to you. And I'm glad that I had that opportunity. But people, okay, I can't give a lot of time, but what can I do? And of course, there's always the opportunity for monetary donations, but it really needs to go beyond that.
Exactly.
Thank you when people give us monetary donations for things. They are being used for that. But the Lord doesn't necessarily need our money, but He needs us.
That's it. That's it.
Another way. We need the Lord. And so the Lord gives us these opportunities to serve. In Matthew 25, and I don't mean to preach, in Matthew 25, Jesus is telling us about this Judgment Day scene.
Yeah.
And He talks about, I was hungry, and you fed me. I was naked, you clothed me. I was in prison, and you visited with me. I was sick, and you visited with me. And in talking about this, Jesus takes the other side. He says, well, when did I do that? He says, well, when you did it for those, you did it.
Yes.
And as you go through Matthew 25, that passage, and you're looking at that, every one of those items that we're being judged on are things every one of us can do.
That's right.
Maybe one or two better than the other ones, but we can do them.
Yes.
And so, and then back way earlier in the Sermon on the Mount, the Lord's talking about laying up treasures in heaven. And so the things we do, and it's not it's not earning that.
Right.
It's Lord, you have spared me. Lord, you have provided me, and now I'm compelled. Can't help but.
That's it.
And again, we may think our knowledge and skills are just not much. when we let God lead it.
Yes.
And so that's what you're doing. And
Yes.
again, it just becomes a mighty weapon in that battle against evil.
Exactly.
And so, all right. What was I saying again? What Satan
means for evil, God has a way of turning around for his good.
We got to call it thanks to it.
That's it. That's
why we're holding it. And Satan says, well, thank you.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
Well, thank you for joining me in this episode. I have a new friend.
Absolutely.
New friend.
Yeah.
I love that. But together, we're sharing a journey to hope.
Yes. You're so welcome.
And to the listeners out there, I invite you to continue listening so you can gain insights into not only our journey to hope, but how we can help others in their journey. Please contact me if you have any questions or comments, or you wish to share with me something you've experienced in your journey to hope. My email is ourjourneytohope@gmail.com. That's ourjourney and the number 2, hope@gmail.com. I promise not to share your email or put you on some kind of mailing list. I'm simply interested in helping all of us as together we journey to hope. Yvonne, thank you for being a guest and for what you do. It truly means a lot. Well, folks, I look forward to sharing more with you soon. Again, thank you for listening. And until our next episode, remember, we give all glory to God our Father.